the first piece in Lech Lecha, NESIVAS Shalom. Vayomer Hashem el Avram, Lech Lecha mi'artzecha mi'uladecha mi'beis avicha le'aretz asher areka. Hashem tells Avram, leave Artzecha mi'uladecha mi'beis avicha, your land, your Geburtsplatz, right, your place where you were born, raised, and your home, to the land that I will show you. The Medrash says that Reb Levi says there are two times that it says Lech Lecha. One time is here, where he had to pack up, call Moshe's movers, and move. And the other place is where Hashem says Lech Lecha to the Akedah. Says Reb Levi in the Medrash, I don't know which one is more chaviv, is more beloved to Hashem. The Nisayon of leaving his home, or the Nisayon of shechting his son. Because it says L'Eretz Hamaria, that's how we know that the second one is more chaviv. V'hainu, the mistapik ben shnei ha-nisyonis shenemer b'lashon lech lecha eza gadol b'chavav yoser. Reb Levi really, before he came up with the answer, the question was, which one is more beloved to Hashem? That Avraham Avinu packed up all of his belongings and moved? Imagine Hashem says, move out of Borough Parkecha, Williamsburg, Muncie, and go to Miami. Move somewhere. That's a Nisayon? And Hashem tells him, you're going lahanas chalutevascha. Over here you don't have money, over there you're going to have money. Over here you don't have fame, over there you're going to have fame. Over here you don't have children, over there you're going to have Yiddish Nachas. Still a Nisayon? Yes, okay, it's difficult. But you're not sure which one is more chaviv to Hashem? Whether you withstood that Nisayon or the other one to shecht your child doesn't make any sense. L'chayra tamua b'yoser. Eich efshel l'dmaisam b'chlal. How could you even compare it? Halei Nisayon ha'akedah hu l'mala mikol hasaga. The Nisayon of the Akedah, of shechting his child, his one beloved child, asher ahavta, as Yitzchak, is above comprehension. It's harder to kill your child than to kill yourself. And especially it says that Hashem, at that moment, the Sfarim HaKadoshim teach us that Hashem took all the love and that exists in the entire world and wrapped it around Yitzchak, that Avram loved Yitzchak at that moment more than all the love that exists in the entire world. We can't comprehend how difficult this Nisayon was. And how could you even think, Reb Levi, in the Medrash, which one does Hashem appreciate more? Also, we need to understand. We know by over here, by moving out, what does Rashi say on the lecha? That it's for you. But over there by Eretz Hamaria, Rashi doesn't say that. So that's weird. If lecha means for your own personal benefit, your gashmiistic benefit, why not the Lech Lecha by going to Eretz Hamaria? Why doesn't it say Lahanas Chulotevascha? Another question. It says in the Torah 3 times a lashon that Hashem spoke to Avram, a lashon of halicha. Lech Lecha, go. His'alech lefanai, go before me. V'hayei samim is also a lashon of halicha. And Lech Lecha Eretz Hamaria. And what does this mean? What are these types of 3 different times that Hashem used the lashon of Lech Lecha, of going? These are the questions of the NESIVAS Shalom. He says we got to start off by explaining a very fundamental principle. Yisai the Avodah says in the name of the Ari HaKadosh, the Arizal, Ein nadoima adam la'adam, v'yom brias adam b'hola. From the first person, Adam Arishan, no 2 people are the same. No 2 people are alike. Nobody is having the same life as someone else. We're not a bunch of people that are put together and we're all just a crowd. No, every individual is different than everybody else. Nobody has the same life. It's amazing how many millions and billions of people, not one person is the same as another person. Kishem she'ein parsufeim shava is just like Hashem made so many faces. You think you have a nose, 2 eyes, and a mouth. How many different versions can you have? Everybody's face is different, so too everybody's mind is different. Everybody's consciousness is different. Everybody's life experiences are different. Your life is different than everybody else. Ve'ein adam echad yochel l'sakein masha al chaveri l'sakein. And you cannot make a tikkun hanefesh, what somebody else is supposed to do. And somebody else cannot accomplish in this world what you are supposed to accomplish. V'hainu, shelachol adam yeshes yi'udoi v'tafkidoi oisoi alav l'sakein b'chayav. Fundamental life idea of a concept. I remember the first time, about 25 years ago, that I saw this in NESIVAS SHALOM, in Chelik Aleph, in the Hakdama, and I never heard this growing up. We are not the same. Our lives are not the same. Our challenges are not the same. Our purpose on this world is not the same. What we're meant to accomplish is not the same. L'chol adam yeshes yi'udai, every person has his own purpose. V'tafkidai, and his tafkid, which is also like his purpose. Oisai alav l'sakein b'chayav, that is on him to fix in his life. Uv'chlal zegam he'inim miyuchad avura yarad la'olam l'saknik yadua, and every person has their own reason why they were sent down to this world. Unbelievable. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Maimid l'chal echad, stands up, sets up for every person all the challenges and all the pieces and all of the tanoim, all of the things that are happening in your life. Sheyuchal al yodam l'sakein es asher mitafkidei l'sakein, so that you can fix what you are sent down here to fix. Ulemalo yisi udayan, to fulfill your purpose, v'tafkidei ba'olamai, your tafkid, your purpose in your world. Listen to this. I remember when I was a kid, there was something called the Jewish Press. It's still around. And every week in the Jewish Press was the chess challenge. The chess challenge is for people who play chess, and they would set up the board, and you would have, let's say, a king, 2 rooks, and a bishop, and a pawn, and it would say you can mate the other person, checkmate, in 6 moves, in 10 moves, and you have to figure it out. And you could look at it every week. You could say, wait, I need my queen. I wish I had a queen. I could do so much more if I had a queen. No, you don't have a queen. You have 2 rooks, a bishop, a pawn. I wish I had more pawns. I wish I had this. I wish I had that set up. No. You're getting a set up, and you have to do checkmate. Hashem gives every person a setup. Siblings, parents, not siblings, this problem, this issue, this trauma, this abuse. A person is set up. So that's your chessboard. We spend a lot of time wishing that our chess pieces were different and that we had more chess pieces that are not there. But that's not really what happens. Hashem sets us up. It's not every week a new chess challenge, but different parts of your life. And He's doing this so you could accomplish what you're meant to accomplish, which is different than everybody else. Everybody else has a different setup. And everybody else has a different purpose. And everybody else has a different goal, ultimate goal. We all have to keep Torah mitzvahs. We all have to learn Torah. We all have to, of course, fight the Yetzer Hara. But individually, there's a lot going on in our lives. We don't really train children to expect that. So people are shocked. Like, why am I having... I know I'm supposed to learn Torah. I know I'm not supposed to sin. But what's all this other stuff? That's really what your purpose is within the big purpose. Within the global, trying to do more mitzvahs and masim tovim, and trying not to do more sin. Within that, there's so much more happening. Listen to this. Kol tanoi hachayim. All of the details in your life. Kol tanoi hachayim shel ha'adam. Begashmis uvarachnis. All of your physical milas and chesronis. You have money, you don't have money. Your midos, your spirituality. You went to this yeshiva, you had a good experience, you had a bit, everything. Hatoivim v'hara'im. The good things that you have going for you, and your good experience that you had, and your bad midos and bad things you had in your life, kulam, all of it, nitnulai, is given to you. Kifi hashayich l'tikun oilamai, because that's what's necessary for you to have, to go and fix what you need to fix in your world. It's your setup for your chess game. Shirak al yedei tanam elu yuchal hagia li'udai. Only by this setup. So many people experience pain in their lives. That's because later on in your life, you have to, only because of that can you accomplish. I was on the phone today with somebody who went through terrible pain and trauma as a child, and now they are creating an organization to help traumatize people. Clearly, that they went through that pain, a terrible pain, but now that's their chess piece, because now they are fulfilling their tafkid, that their purpose was to build up an organization to help broken souls who went through this type of trauma that other people wouldn't understand. So many organizations were started because somebody went through a problem, infertility or whatever it was, and therefore they built organizations. Most organizations are built because of tragedy and tragic circumstances, and that good people use their pain and use their tragedy to enhance the world, which is the only way to make sense of any of the pain. But everything that a person goes through, it's not a mistake. It's not that my life was supposed to be on a highway and I ended up down here stuck in traffic. No, that was planned for you. All of the tanoim of your life, all the details in your life, the good and the bad, were given to you because that's your setup. Shirak al yedei tanam elu yuchal hagia liyudai. Only because of this setup can you reach your ultimate goal that you were put down in the world for. And without them, ubaladeim, without them, lo yuchal asakein. You wouldn't be able to be Masakein. Yes, you can learn Torah, you cannot do Averis, you could do the global stuff, but your individual task, it would be so much easier if we got, when we were born, on the toe of every baby, said, by the way, your tafkid that I'm sending you down to this world is to start, an organization, is to teach Torah, is to help, people, whatever it is. It would be much easier. We don't know. But he's saying, yeah, you do know. Because that's why you have this set up. Yeah, you're a genius and you love to sit and learn. You were meant to be Marbitz Torah. You have ADHD and you can't sit, but you love helping people. There's a reason for that. You still have to learn Torah. You still have to we all have the global stuff, but your tafkid is to do chesed. And since every person is sent down here for an individual tafkid, life, purpose, that's why everybody's a different life. Such a different way of looking at it. It's like, I always thought, we're all put down here, and then stuff happens randomly, and then you got to deal with it. Now, I know it's not random because I believe in Mashert, but I didn't really believe on this level that, no, the reason why I was born in 1969, and the reason why I was born a Ben Zakunim, and the reason I was placed in Forest Hills, and the reason I went through this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and everything good and everything bad, and all my experiences is towards a goal that I have to figure out and use those good and bad experiences and good and bad midos and good and bad koiches and good and bad setup of different details to help people or to figure out what my purpose is. The greatest feeling is tapping into what you feel your purpose is. Most people don't even know. They're searching. But because we all have a different purpose, that's why all of the details of our life is different. We had to go through that hard time. We had to have that chesaron. We had to have those bad midos. It's not an accident. L'zeh chayav kalim. One person is meant to have an easy life. U'lushem yachayim kashim yoiser. And to somebody else, he has a difficult life. There are people who just have difficult lives. Why? We don't understand. But Hashem specifically sends down this neshama to have a difficult life. Uva'ofen klali, and in a general sense, harigam kafi anir le'enayim, even according to what we see openly, yesh lekol adam es yichudai shel mahal chayav she'ein lahashvis l'mahal chayim shel achim. Each person you see has his own. We could see it with our own eyes, not just under the hood, emotions and experiences and all of that, midos. But you could see that people are living different types of lives. V'hu kivan shelekol echad yesh tafkidei hamiyuchad. A love noisnim loy kol hatanoim hamat'imim b'chtei sheyuchal hamalosi. Because every person has his own purpose, and he's given all of the traits and all of the situations that are befitting specifically for him to fill his purpose. And listen to these words: V'af hamatzavim hakoshim b'chayei ha'odam. Even the difficulties that a person goes through in his life. Him gamkein emtsoyim. They are also emtsoyim. I don't know how to say that in English. You have to go through that. Those are carrying you. Shenitnu loy. They were given to you. B'chtei sheyagiu el tukunai. In order for you to reach your ultimate goal in this world. She'ein ra yorid min hashamayim. Because no evil, no bad comes down from heaven. And everything that is given to you is l'toivas ha'adam. Sometimes it's very painful to be able to accept this. But everything that's given to us is l'toivas ha'adam, for your good, kedei sheyisakin bazeh es hashayich elav, in order for you to be misakin, to fix what is meant for you specifically, and through that you're going to accomplish, you're going to reach your purpose in this world that you were created. And specifically this concept is nageya to everybody when it comes to our spirituality, in yani tivius tchunas hanefesh, and your natural tendencies. Every person has his own natural tendencies and midos built in that are specific to you. Some people are born with good midos. They don't get angry, they're calm, they fargin other people, they're happy with other people. They just have good midos. And some people are suffering from midos rais. Naturally, their nature is rough and tough, and they're born with bad midos. Negua bakas, or betaiva, vegaiva. A person could be gets very angry by nature. A person can be a big baltaiva by nature. Some people, I don't care so much about food. Other people, they have such taivas achila, and for all other categories as well. Some people are balgaiva. Some people are such balagaiva, they're naturally a balgaiva that they even think they're an anav when they act with anava, but they're still much more of a balgaiva than a real anav. And some people have high self-esteem, some people have low self-esteem. It's all there given to you. Your makeup, your DNA, your midos, and everything that happened to you and will happen to you. It's all set up for you to accomplish your mission in this world. And not only your good natural capabilities and midos are going to help you reach your goal. Even your natural ra that you have, your difficulties of your personality and your bad midos, by overpowering that and controlling yourself and winning your battle against them, and conquering those bad midos, there's two types of things. We have to use our good midos to propel us to do good into this world, to find our mission and to accomplish what we were sent down here. And then we have to look at the difficulties that we have and the bad midos that we have and our difficult nature that we have and things that we are interested in that are against the Torah, and we have to overpower and accomplish and fight that. So there's both sides. There's the Sur Meira and there's the Aseh Tov. Two battles that are going on. Additional to all the general battles of every klaliistic person, of the general, there's your individual for your life. No two lives are the same. This is the purpose and this is what's going on all the challenges that a person goes through. Sometimes God sends us through very difficult challenges, painful challenges, difficult challenges, until sometimes, chas v'shalom, a person can complain against Hashem. Why are you giving such a difficult life to me? Why are you putting me in such a challenge? Why are things so hard for me? I don't think I can be oimid by them. I don't think I can withstand this life. I can't deal with this. He says, but the truth is that all the different challenges that a Jew goes through, yes, it's difficult to pack up and move Avraham Avinu, but it's lech lecha lahanoscha l'tevascha. He says, really, all the difficult challenges that we have are all for our greater good. Because they carry you to be able to reach your purpose of being alive. By withstanding, by conquering, by overcoming these challenges, you can reach your purpose, your tikkun, fixing your soul, the reason that we're down here, to accomplish things. It says, for example, Chazal tell us what's considered a true full Baal Tshuva, when a person ends up in the same situation, It's the same situation. It's the same place with the same woman that he fell last time, and he's miskaber, and he wins over. He's Aymed ben Isayin. That's Bal Tshuva Gamor. L'chayra hareyu oz ben Isayin kasher b'yoser. B'hitztarfusam yachat shel kol atunam oisay haperek oisay hamakom oisay isha. I never looked at it like that. He says, but it's so much harder when you're in a situation and you fall. It's so much harder to be in that same situation and to win. It's l'chayr, it's not even fair. Give him a different place. Let him be miskaber something else and call him about tshuva. Why dafka the same situation when you have the same place is much harder? Ulamita shel davar, but the truth is, heviu oisay lamatzav zeh lahanosay l'tayvasay shal yidei sheyamid ben isayin nisakin es mashe pagam v'yagil l'dargas bal tshuva gomer. So interesting, right? We look at it like, why are you putting me in the same situation? Oh, you know why? Hashem is specifically putting you in this situation, even though it's so much harder, because you already fell in this situation. But He's putting this into you because He's giving you a chance to mamish perfectly do tshuva. As long as you're doing tshuva in similar situations, so you fix like 80%, 90%, but the best way to do full tshuva is to be in exactly the same situation, even though it's much harder. But then you're Bal Tshuva Gamor. So I never looked at it. It's like we look at it always like, what's about Tshuva Gamor? Someone who's in the same situation and all the different things about it are the same, and he wins. SEFER SHALOM says, hang on. Why would a person be put in that situation? It's so much harder for him. You know why? It is harder for you, but that's the best way to be about Tshuva Gamor, and that's why Hashem put you in it. He says the same way, the same thing, so many difficulties that a person has in life. Why is Hashem putting me in this challenge? Why is Hashem giving me this deficiency? Why? I wish I could learn better. I wish I could enjoy davening more. I wish I could concentrate more. Why did Hashem do this? Why did Hashem do that? Why did Hashem do that? You know why? Hashem gives us difficult situations because only by conquering that and only by going through that and withstanding and overcoming the challenges and the difficulties can we actually fulfill our purpose in this world. And sometimes they're really difficult because we have to achieve something really amazing. And that's pshat, lech lecha me'aretzecha u'milatcha me'beis avicha, lech lecha el yu'utcha. Go to you. Lech lecha, not for you, go to yourself. Go to find your purpose. Isn't that beautiful? El tikun nishmascha, to be masaking your neshama. Masha ata tzarech l'sakin ba'olam hazeh. Shezeu ikar tafkida shel Yehudi, because that's the main thing, the main purpose of a Jew being here. Lech lecha, different pshat. Lech lecha, go to you. Because you're not going to be you over here. Yes, it's easier for you to stay at home. It's easier for you not to move. It's easier for you not to do whatever, be Aymed ben Isayin, and not to do the difficulty. Of course, but when you gather the strength to look at what Hashem is wanting from you and realizing the challenge and to do it, you are going not for Hashem, you're going to you. You're finding your purpose. You're going towards your goal of why you were sent down here. Like it says in Teiris Avos and Sefer Teiris Avos. Ki gamim Yehudi ba'olam hazeh lo yimidu muspal va'oisik v'masam tovim. Hariyim einay misakin is Yehudai masha tzarech l'sakan ba'olamai azai kishayil l'olam ha'elyin shayil oisei ma pa'alta ba'olam hazeh. Pirish hashari lo yitokanta es ikar es shahoye tafkidcha l'sakin shezeh ha'yutcha ba'olamai. Very, very powerful, according to what we just learned from the Arizal. So if a person goes ahead, and let's say he says, I really don't have so much kavanah, davening is not my thing, so I'm going to daven nicely, but I'm not going to do extra, I'm going to learn extra. He did a mitzvah. Learning is not really my thing, I'm going to do chesed. If he's going to try to take the easy way out, and he's going to go ahead and he's going to do a life full of Torah mitzvahs, but he's not going to do the purpose that he was put down to the world, he's going to come up to Shemayim, they're going to say, you have a lot of Torah mitzvahs. This is extreme, by the way. Because, in other words, like we said before, there's the klaliistic general ideas. Do good and don't do bad. But individually you have a purpose. And he's saying, guess what? You can miss your purpose on this world by taking the easy way out and yet not sinning. He's not talking about sinning. He's talking about you could still miss your boat. I can go to a furniture store and I could say, listen, I want to get it. I need new chairs. I need 8 chairs. And they do custom work. And I place an order, and they say, come back in a month. I come back in a month, and they made for me, they worked a whole month on a beautiful table. They worked? Yes. They did something amazing? Yes. But that's not what I asked them for. We have to look at what is Hashem asking me, and every me is different, you are different, everybody's different, and you have to fill that. You have to do that avodah. And He's going to teach us how to do this. This is the Dvar Hashem al Avraham. This is what Hashem was telling Avraham Avinu. And this is what Hashem is telling Klal Yisrael, Zari Shel Avram, what Hashem is telling every single Jew. Lech lecha. Leave your comfort zone to find you. Go towards your goal. Pirish, lahagia el tikun haneshama, to reach your tikun of the purpose that you were put down in this world. Hashayach elecha, your individual tikun. Ulatachlis hamayuadas elecha, and the tachlis, the purpose that you were meant to fulfill. Then you have to go out. Me'artzecha, me'miladzecha, me'beis avicha. Hainu mikol hatanoim atchunos v'hativiyos shelcha. You have to leave all of your challenge, all of your tanom, all the pieces of your life, of your setup. Yes, you were born in Chicago, and you were the middle child, and you're comfortable, this and that, all the pieces of your whole life. But sometimes you have to go lech lecha. You have to remove yourself from the artzecha miladcha mesavicha dehine. Hashroshim shall kol atchunos v'ativiyos. The roots. This is very psychologically deep. The root of all of your natural tendencies comes from these three things. Yesh tchunos sheshar shemei artzecha. There are tchunos hanefesh. There are character traits that are kind of like imbued on you as you grow up in a certain land. L'chol eretz yesh tchunos harois ashaychim eleha kegon ritzicha v'gezel v'doima. Every land has their own attitudes. We see that. We see that people come from a specific European place or Sephardim, whatever. They have a certain nature built into them. Some are very, whatever, I don't want to get into it. But that rubs off. It's part of your DNA. Every land has a certain attitude. Right? Let's say America, everybody's very spoiled. It's not an accident. There are other places everybody's very... You have to know. I don't want to say cheap, but it's well known, right? And he says also a person is born to a family system, and in that family systems could be bad midos from the grandparents and the great grandparents, from the family structure that rubs off on you. You could see a person's very, very spoiled because the whole family lives a certain way and there's certain attitudes that get into your DNA. That unless you inspect it, you just think that that's the way everybody thinks. No. Or that that's just the way I am. 1 second. You weren't necessarily born that way. You were put into a structure that caused you to have that attitude. And then there are some that come specifically from your father and mother's home, your parents' home. The way that your parents had a certain level of kedusha is going to affect the children. The way the house was is going to affect the children. This is what Hashem is telling every Jewish child. Leave for you. In order to reach your purpose, you have to go out of your chains that are holding you down. You have to identify your limitations, and you have to break free and raise yourself and rise above them from all of these limitations that are coming from all these hashpais. Artzecha, mimalatetecha, mibeis avicha, asher kol elu shaychim la'adam, lefi sharish nishmasai v'tafkidai. Like we said before, every person is put into a specific artzecha, a specific milatetecha, a specific beis avicha to affect him, because that's your tafkid in this world. Hashem says this neshama needs a tikkun. It was a big Baal Gaiva, so I'm going to put him into a situation and I'm going to make him have that challenge of having Gaiva and feeling he's better than other people. There's a certain feeling that some people have when you're raised like an aristocrat, and you just automatically have to overcome that because that's your tikkun. Va'az, and only by lech lecha, from all those different things that are affecting you internally that you may not even realize, only by leaving that and breaking free from that, tagia el ha'aretz asher areka, will you reach the land that I will show you, l'sakin ha'gomer, l'tikun ha'gomer, shel nishmasko shuhi itcho ba'elamecha. When you'll reach the Holy Grail, the Holy Land. You'll reach your holy place. You'll reach your Tikkun HaNeshama. And according to this, we can now understand what Reb Levi was saying. I don't know what's more chashiv to Hashem, more beloved to Hashem. Which nisayin of Lech Lecha me'artzecha or Lech Lecha to Akedas Yitzchak? Because there's two types of nisayin. It's very interesting. There's a nisayin, two types of nisayins that we each go through in our lives. There's the steady milchama of Lech Lecha me'artzecha, going out of our tchunas and our natural tendencies and our bad midos, the daily grind, the daily battle, trying to conquer kas and gaiva and taiva and kinna and all these things. It's a constant challenge all the time. And because every step of the way, you're Oymid bin Nisayin, you have another Nisayin in front of you, and you have to conquer it. You're constantly getting hit. If a person is a Baal Taiva, he's constantly getting hit, and he constantly has to fight. And that is a big Nisayin, a lifelong Nisayin. To give you an example, there are some people that say for their life, they go to Overeaters Anonymous, or they struggle with food. They struggle with weight. It's a lifelong struggle. It's going to be a lifelong struggle. Every time they see a delicious piece of cake or whatever it is, they will feel differently towards that emotionally and psychiatrically and psychologically. It's triggering. It's like their addiction. It's a lifelong battle. Hashem asks us sometimes to have lifelong battles. We win, we lose, whatever, different story. But it's a lifelong challenge to break free from all the negative stuff we have in our system and to do what we're supposed to do. But then sometimes there's different nisayanis that we each have that are like the Akedah. In what way? That nisayan is much worse than the daily nisayanis. You can't even compare it. But it's a nisayan chad pa'ami, but it's a one-time thing. Kamayim Chazal. Okay, and the shaila is, which is Chavav Yaiser? That's the question. The shaila ma Chavav Yaiser, Muhammad Tmidas Shei Kasher BeYaiser, Oy Bechinas HaNisyanis K'Nisayin HaKedah She'amnam Heinam Ba'ofen Chad Pa'ami Ach Kashem Har BeYaiser She'az Tzarech Limsa Nafshay Atzmei L'Gami B'Loi L'Hashir Shum Shir L'Atzmi. He says, I don't know which one. Sometimes a person is in a challenge. It's much, much harder, but it's not constant. And the other one is constant. Every time you get up, every time you go, every time you this, every time you that. Shmir Seinayim. Constant. Someone who's given a terrible Yitzhahara for that, it's constant. And it's very chavav to Hashem. Look, he's trying. And you fail, and you feel bad, and you try again, and you do tshuva. That whole lifelong thing, right? That's amazing. Hashem says, look, there were 10 million times that you had the challenge, and there were 3 million times that you were Oymid and Miskabra. Wow. Right? Look, Goyim, they don't even try. Look how much he's trying, and then he does tshuva, and he feels bad, and he tries again, and all of that. Right? Like guard your eyes, that amazing organization trying to help people to guard their eyes. It's a lifelong battle. Some people don't have it. Whether that's not their taiva, or they never fell and they never broke, or they don't have a lot of pain that they're using this taiva as a release and as an escape. It's not everybody falls into that situation. And some wonderful people do. And they may struggle with it. People go to SA, to NA, to AA. It's a lifelong battle that other people may not have. And then there's, some people love to gossip. Their taiva for gossip is much more than other people are. It's not their thing, right? And those people have to gossip. It's a lifelong battle. Every time they hear something, they want to repeat it. And it's not lashon hara. It's not really bad. It's really good. And they love to be the one who gets the information 5 minutes before everybody else. It's like they know. They love it. That's a lifelong battle. They have to identify that it's a problem, and they have to try to win it. And they may win, they may not win, whatever, and tshuva, that's a whole different shmooze. But that's their lifelong nisayin. And then you have some people that have a much, much bigger nisayin, but it's a one-time thing. It's now or never. It's like do or die. But the bottom line is both types. You know what it has to do? One thing in common. They're both bringing you to you. They're both lech lecha, shemesava vasibois, that Hashem, who creates everything and creates all of the situations, is creating these things because through them you're going to reach yourself. You're going to reach the tikkun of your neshama and your purpose in this world. And that's why it says all these things, b'lashon halicha, of going. To teach you that these challenges are not in your way, they are your way. That was said by Reb Shimon Russell. The challenges that Hashem gives you are not in your way, they are your way. Reb Shimon would love this shtickle NESIVAS Shalom. Lech lecha. The reason that you have this challenge and this difficulty is not blocking you. Come on, get this out of the way because I really want to go back to my life. No. This is what Hashem is giving you for your purpose. This is your life. L'leches, you have to go u'lehiskadim tamid b'darkei shel Yehudai, because you're going towards your purpose by doing the good stuff that you're meant to be doing, by fixing the bad stuff that you're meant to fix. Umurumas begimel pa'amim shel lashon alicha ki atziva l'lechas u'lehiskadim b'avodas Hashem shayich b'chol t'kufas chayev shel Yehudi. Genius. NESIVAS Shalom is saying, you know why 3 times that it says a lashon of halicha? Because these 3 times were said at 3 different parts of Avraham Avinu's life. Hashem says Lech lecha to show you before he went to Eretz Yisrael that he had to go towards himself for himself. He was already 99 years old, and Lech lecha Eretz Maria was at the last part of his life, when he was older, to tell us that in each part of your life, you got to keep moving, you got to keep going. You have to go forward to greet your purpose. There's no retiring. There's another problem. We never retire. When we're done with the work that we need to do in this world, our life is over. And as long as we're alive, we're meant to be moving. We're meant to be going. We're meant to do stuff. I remember now a verse from the Kotzker Rebbe, Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm very old, PARSHA Pshat is I can't go out and in. I'm getting very old. I am in a wheelchair. I can't just walk around. He says he meant spiritually. Moshe Rabbeinu reached a place that there was no higher that he could have gone, and there was no lower, no Nesayim would have pulled him down. So he realized it's time to leave this world. Because in this world, you're always going to have something to achieve, and you're always going to have problems and taivas and nisyonis, whether it's taiva, a gaiva, a kavod, in all different stages in life that's going to pull you down. When you're above it all, there's no tafkid anymore. There's no purpose for you in this world. When you're a bacher, you're a bacher, you have nisyonis. When you're married, you're here in yeshiva, you go to Eretz Yisrael, you go to work, you have a whole new parsha. I see people coming back after learning in Eretz Yisrael, and all of a sudden they're working people now. It's all new setup. It's like a video game, right? And it's all new setup. And your weaknesses are going to show in different places that they didn't show before. And your strengths are going to show in ways that they didn't show before. It's a whole new video game. Every single tkufa that you have, every single part of your life, there's different. Everything's different. And that's why your tchunos hanefesh, your character traits, are going to change, because that's what's necessary for the next part. Older people who don't have taiva so much, not for food and not for other stuff, have a taiva for kavod. Why? It's not a mistake. It's because that's more for their purpose. That's necessary. Those are their chess pieces that they need for that part of their life. What's missing from the board and the pieces that you do have. The stuff that you do have and the stuff that you don't have. Everything is set up for that part of your life. Shatam bozeh. Because the reason is ka'amur, like we said, because you are given what you need for that part of your life. I'm going to skip to the last part. So to every single day, let's learn what he's saying, and based on everything we just learned, how it affects us every single day. Every day, when you get up in the morning, you are not getting up to just float. You're getting up because there's a mission for you today. Hein b'mitzvahs masiyas aseh v'lois aseh. Sai, when it comes to the mitzvahs masiyim, the mitzvahs to do, that you have to make sure you are doing and going out there, get out there and do mitzvahs. Torah, learning, masim toivim, chesed. Don't be fashlufen. Be alive. Lech lecha, halicha, be alive. You're going, you're looking. My father always used to say, in business you have to be creative. Some people are schluffing in business. They lose opportunities. In mitzvahs and Torah also, you have to look for opportunities. Some people are walking and one person has an eye. He sees somebody struggling. I was Zaycha about 35 years ago. I was walking in Eretz Yisrael, and I saw a very old man schlepping a bunch of bottles that he was buying for Friday night. He was walking up a hill on King George towards the plaza, and I happened to see him, and I walked past him, and then I was like, chap myself. I went back and I said, can I help you? And he was so out of it. I don't know if he would have made it. I don't know why it was so important for him to have soda at the Plaza Hotel for his children and grandchildren. I don't know why nobody else was there. He was walking up that hill. He was sopping wet. His face was red. He looked like he was going to pass out. I don't know if he would have made it. He was very, very old. And it was an opportunity. So we could be missing opportunities. I might have missed it myself. I happened to have helped him. I carried it, and he came over to me that night in front of my parents, and he thanked me so much. He said, wow, your son was so amazing. I was at the right place at the right time, but you also have to be a lech lecha. You have to be looking to accomplish. And also, you're going to have the same issue when it comes to Yetzirah and Taivas and all of that. You got to stay on the move. And then also the mitzvahs that are given over for our hearts. Kigoin, v'ahavtas Hashem alekecha, b'chol lavav v'chol nafshecha, es Hashem alekecha tira, ahavas Hashem, yiras Hashem. These are things we have to work on constantly. Go out of our box. Have more ahavas Hashem. Concentrate more on loving Hashem, on doing mitzvahs with ahava, on fearing Hashem. It's very hard. We have to instill within us some yiras shamayim. Shemeni oisik behem, because if you're not going to work with this as an alive person who's on the move, Lebedik. If you're not going to work hard, if you don't go up, you go down. You just have to be fashlufen, you're not going to make it. That's why all these commands, is always a lashon of halicha, of going, Hashem showed the derech to Avraham as haderech l'klal Yisrael. He showed Avraham Avinu the derech for every single Jew. Shem chuyavim tamid leilech. We always have to be moving. Ulehiskadem, and to go ahead. L'sakein yiudam, to be misakein, to fix our purpose. U'she'al yedei zeh yisaknu tikkun nishmasam yagil el tachlisam hagomer ba'ilamam. Because only by being on the move and looking at each situation, at what I need to accomplish to give myself a better, not falling for the averis, better insides, better midos. So many people can grow up and they can change. They become more loving. They become more giving, more kind. To work on you decide to learn time of Devara. That's you're alive. You're a lech lecha. You're improving yourself. People who are in business who don't take courses and aren't in on the changes of the world are eventually going to not make it. There are so many companies that were making stuff 30, 40 years ago very successfully that are not necessary anymore. They're not lech lecha. They're successful and they're fashlufen. You can't be fashlufen. You got to always work on yourself, on your bad, and to fix the bad stuff, and to increase the good that you do, and then you're going to who? To yourself. To fulfill your purpose that Hashem created you.